Hello, hello. This is Anu Abuchi, and this is Healing Empowered. Thank you for stopping by my channel. And I want to dedicate this time to making this video about, I'll do another video on this product review, but I want to just pour out all the information that was poured into me per this visit. So I went to the doctor because I was maybe 2 years late on having an annual checkup. So I didn't have insurance and I wasn't working for the state any longer. And I said, you know what? I need to get myself checked out. Now, I went to the doctor and she began to tell me that the vaginal pain that I was having could be from an assortment of things. So she went in to say, one, wearing a lot of lycra. It's like, who is that? She told me wearing spandex. A lot of my outfits have leggings a part of it, leggings, tights, wearing these stretchable pants. I remember when there was an influx of outfits and all of them had just tights this, tights that, tights this, tights that, and not just a solid black, but prints on them. And so they're great to go with a lot of your styles. However, they can create a non-breathable environment for your vagina. So she was telling me about the three holes. There's the urethra, then the vagina, and then the anus. And then she was telling me, as though I'm not a 36-year-old woman, my age did not reflect the amount of information that I already knew. Did not reflect the, y'all, I'm old, but I'm old enough, but I didn't know enough. That's all I'm trying to say. That's the point I'm trying to make. So as far as like using soap, she was telling me that a lot of women like to use soap inside of the vagina as far as like cleaning themselves. She was like, oh, just use, she's like, don't do that. I remember going to that same place before, but having a different physician, and she was advising me she was a Caucasian female, and she was telling me that I should only use water. I was like, I listened to her, and I was just like, I'm not gonna follow your instructions because that sounds wrong. So having this particular woman tell me, who was a woman of color, tell me that I shouldn't use soap, I was just like, okay, well, what are you specifically talking about? Because she was like, let me get visual with you. So she was just like, when you spread your legs, there's that open space, but between the actual wall of the hanging vagina and the inside of your thigh. And it's even darkened there than the actual color of your thigh. So she was saying that in that area, go ahead and use. But as far as like opening the lip of the vagina and cleaning in there, she was like, that's forbidden. There are bacteria that actually secrete in that area, and for purposes for the body that are necessary, that does not need to be washed away with soap. She was saying, and as she was saying, and I was just like, I'm not gonna listen to her. I need to clean. However, if I'm currently in the doctor's office for not just, it was actually not for a checkup. In all honesty, I had not been in there, and I didn't know that I needed to have to be going regularly. So for me to go and listen to a physician, and then as she's sharing with me, I'm keeping a resistant, hesitant, stubborn attitude. That's ignorance. So I continue to listen to her. So she also shared with me about how yogurt is really broadcasted on TV, but for women specifically, we need to understand that yogurt does have a play in our pH balance. She was just like, I need to look into that, look online, and also read up, and then come to know what your normal pH balance is. Then she was talking about hormonal balance. She was saying that with a hormonal imbalance, that men and women can begin to respond to a hormonal imbalance with highs and lows in the character and their emotion in their emotions and in their thinking. And we may, if we're aware of the up and down, of the highs and lows, we may misdiagnose that, or we may respond to reactions and not be proactive and understand that the actual source of the problem is a hormonal imbalance. And she was like, come to know what that is and see if I've experienced any side effects or any symptoms that are listed in the place where I'm looking. Then she began to say, she said that as a fellow African woman, and when she said that, when I tell you I tuned in, So I was just like, you are. So she did have her name badge on her chest. And I just looked at it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so, but when she said, oh, as an African woman, I was just like, yes. She said, it not only is it not normal, it is socially appropriate to not discuss vaginal, sexual, intercourse, just anything of that nature or the related. It is socially appropriate to not discuss it, even in private settings, even from woman to daughter. And she was like, I don't know why, but it really deprives us of information that arms us, makes us aware, empowers us, and keeps us safe and healthy. And I was just like, right, you just speaking to me. So she was saying that a lot of mothers don't even know. And she was like, mothers don't know that you need to take your tissue and you need to wipe from front to back. She was saying that a lot of mothers aren't telling them. They're not getting into the restrooms. They're not demonstrating to their children how to wash, use a cleanser, how not to douche for this reason, and how to maybe throw away and when to throw away the towels that we use, the rags that we use, the sponges or the cloths or the loofahs that we use. She was saying, as far as like maintenance and how long and how often, she was saying that it's okay to have a different loofah for our entire body. And exfoliating is something that we could really inculcate a lot of women in our age bracket. And she looked maybe about 30 to 40, no more than 40. Matter of fact, her pure skin, she could have been 25. I don't know. So then she was also saying that we need to spend time familiarizing ourselves with what cleanliness means. When we do go exercising, make sure that we are immediately taking a shower, taking the rest of the day to walk around in those outfits so that we can get errands done is an injustice to our bodies, because it creates an environment that has sweat that is staying on top of the body that can create bacteria that is against the environment that our vagina needs to be in. So having underwear plus the tights that have sweat on it is a great way to cause a problem, especially when we are repeating this cycle. So I do work out, and I do like to get other things done because of this time frame or because of how convenient it is. But I need to put my health first and take that shower, or I need to remove the underwear. And I was just like, I'm not going to just put clean underwear on a dirty body. So I've got to begin to not only plan, oh, I have time for a workout, but I have to assign the shower a part of that workout. Do I have time for a workout plus a shower? Then that's when I move ahead and do that workout. Because if I'm trying to do the workout and then pick something up and then go to the bank, that can lead into more things because of time or because of convenience. And I need to put my health before time and convenience. And so didn't know that was a big deal. That's a problem. So the fabrics that we wear, how long we're wearing them. She was saying, if I really don't want any problems, I need to throw everything out of my out of my underwear drawer that is not 100% cotton. And I was just thinking of lace, how gorgeous that is, how I like to wear lace undergarments. And that's the only thing that came to mind. I know that there are other things that I have. I have one that has diamonds on either side of the bra. And I don't know what other materials are used to make any of the other bras, but I do know that some are lace. And I was just like, forget the bras, but the ones that have matching underwear that are also lace, I was like, I guess I'll throw it out. So I did throw out all my undergarments that are not 100% cotton. And I want to show off. My husband went and bought me some Victoria's Secret. I do know that there are black owned companies that have bra and panty. It's a whole underwear line. I know Fenty, I know all these, but he doesn't. So he went to Victoria's Secret and bought some underwears. However, some do have design and things. I don't see any lace in here. But for those that did not know, because my husband came back and was telling me that all the Victoria's Secret that have this pink rose on it, these are 100% cotton. That's great. And I'm glad that not only while he was there, he bought some perfume and some matching lotion. And so I do know that she was also saying that those that buy scented lotions and perfumes and powders that never goes in the vagina. When I was pregnant, I guarantee you, underneath my slip, yes, I was wearing a slip. I think the slips are going out in this generation. It's funny. I don't wear them now, but I don't even know if I wear up to the extent that I was in that. And though I'm not wearing slips at all, or I don't even think I dress up as much as I did at that time, as consistently as I did at that time when I was pregnant. But I did used to wear powder. My stomach grew down, and so there was so much heat so quickly, so easily underneath my belly of twins that I put powder under there. And so now I've heard these class action lawsuits against this Johnson & Johnson powder, but I'm particularly thankfully fine. Glory be to God. So, but washing with scented lotion, shower gels, soaps, absolutely a no in your perineal area, which is literally just down below. But using it for the rest of your body, she was just like, that's fine. Spraying, I do know that I always sprayed on top of my clothes toward that area, not my actual skin, but I wondered if I'm confident that the perfume now, Victoria's Secret. Now I didn't spray any of these, but and these are fragrance mist. So I don't know. I don't even know what that is, but I was spraying actual perfume, and which I know has more alcohol in it, which are just stronger. Spraying that on my cloth in my perineal area, so I do know that that could seep through the clothes. I wasn't wearing cardboard, so I know it can seep through the clothes. Absolute no. So, and I know that the class action lawsuit against Johnson & Johnson is because women were putting it inside of their underwear. And I know it was for issues, if they weren't just overweight and the skin was going over it, it was really just so that they could, if there's any sweating or any smell that permeated from that area, it would not be of a bad smell. It would be of the powder. So I think that was their intention. That was my intention when I sprayed it up, when I put powder all over my body. So fabrics, shower gels, and other practices like just not showering. I'm laughing because that's obviously not something I'm struggling with. But when I was in college, that last month when I actually started studying, it was hard. That last month of those years of being in college, I was just like, these days are going by so fast. But that's because I was cramming. And so I do remember that so vividly. It was marked by not eating. It was marked by not showering. It was marked by actually studying for, I want to say, the first time in life. And then I got a bachelor's degree. I was like, wow. And I haven't used it since then. But great piece of paper. Whatever, cool. But so at that time, not only was I not showering, I was staying in the clothes from the day before, 2 days before. And so, just taking that break to take care of myself was the furthest thing from my mind, which is also a sign and symptom of people, dealing with, anxiety, suicide, depression, things that would take away from their that would actually feed them taking care of themselves, like taking a shower, eating, taking care of the things that are theirs, just upkeep. They're not doing that as well. So not just to those who are fine and have the sunshine beaming from within them, those who are suffering, to those who are suffering, understand that you're also creating a problem for yourself in the future by not having daily maintenance in your, not just your vaginal area, but literally the totality of your body from top to bottom. I wanted to share that just in case we do not know. Just in case we do not know, because I know in my specific community, I have not had conversations about intercourse, sexuality, or literally vaginal health and upkeep and maintenance. And I appreciated her for stating that truth, because it is true. So I'm hoping that the generation younger than me, those who are just in their teens or maybe early 20s, they don't even, I hope they don't even know, like, what is she talking about? We talk all the time. Great. Great. Then this ignorance and this isolation and this silence and this muting of those particular topics is something of the past, and cheers to that. I hope that African women of the younger generation are like, what? And I hope that they don't even know the plight of the women that are above them. But other than that, I would love to hear your comments about some pieces of information that you were told as an adult, but it was not made known to the piece of information that you were told as an adult. But I remember telling just one quick thing. I'm trying to end this video, but I remember sharing with my mom one visit that I went to the hospital, and I told the doctor that, hey, I'm having some vaginal pain. And before I even went to him, I remember telling that with my sister, and she was like, oh my gosh, I too was just in the doctor for having vaginal pain. And so no surprise, she too was suffering from at that time, she and I, around the same time, was having vaginal pain. And it was both the same thing. And maybe because I did share with her it wasn't Victoria's Secret, but it was Bath and Body Works. And I just had an abundance of it because, they'd be having those sales. So, and I fell for it at that time where you just buy a lot. I remember sharing some with her maybe months ago, but at the time of that conversation, she had just left the hospital for having vaginal pain, but it was because of a practice that she had adhered to. And the doctor had informed her, thankfully was a woman, was saying, well, I think that the answer to your problem is to no longer use any of that Bath and Body Works in your vaginal area. My sister was enlightened by that, and she shared it with me at that time. Well, I went into my doctor's office, and he began to run tests and ask me questions about the faithfulness of my husband. And I was like, oh my God. And at the time I was like, do I need to ask my husband that if he's being faithful or whichever? Turns out, if I had just been practicing using non-perfumed soaps and not gels that have so much in it, and just stick with natural things, and not I'm not taking a bar soap into the vagina and cleansing out. There's no need for that. The body naturally has cleansing of the vagina. Although I had a Caucasian woman tell me not to use soap at all in my vagina, I still use on the outside of the lips, and I definitely am not going to just not use water. But everything else I'm adhered to. I'm not gonna be just stubborn, like, well, it ain't nothing happened to me, so I'm not gonna listen to her, listen to the physician, because they know the components, they know the function, and they know what could cause irritants and dysfunction. So, not to make it work, but to cause problems. But I remember the doctor ended up running some tests and was like, oh, it's just a yeast infection. I was like, just those things can hurt. So also the things that we eat and the things that we cleanse with could cause a yeast infection. That's also FYI if you don't know already. But I did have to go home and tell my my mother and tell my aunt and tell my daughter, well, demonstrate to my daughter, this is how we clean. This is how it is from front to back. And she was like, oh, okay. Took it well. My daughter took it well. My aunt was like, if you say so. My mom was just like, well, I've been doing this pretty well. I think I know how. And I was literally being very detailed with my mother and also trying to get some feedback and just have that conversation with her. And she was just like, well, I'm eating. And I was just like, this isn't the best time. You're right. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. However, we had never not since I've been alive. We had never tapped into having a conversation about like how this needs to be done. Thankfully, my sister talked with me and demonstrated with me tampons, pads, when, how often, what the body is saying. You can feel leakage, you can feel this, you can do that. So I was equipped before the period even happened. So thank God for older sisters. But for those of us out there watching this video, I really appreciate you not only watching, listening, but I would love your commentary. Until then, enjoy and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.